right, I'll just keep finding pictures
Well,
here.
so now here I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
On our trip this time, as we were traveling along, we went by a place called Evergreen Motel.
Evergreen Motel. How many beds can you make in an hour? But that Evergreen Motel was on Route 50 in Illinois.
Route 30.
Route 30, right.
So our mother worked there, right?
Yep.
What did she do?
She basically was housekeeping.
So that must have been, we were sort of poor.
We were never, ever well off. So we were the, let's see, we were the end chain of the relatives who were either recarpeting their house and therefore we got their old carpet, or buying new furniture and we got their old furniture, things like that. We were, and same with hand-me-down clothes. You know, we were sort of the last ones to get to use it. But Mother always had a good sense for business. I swear she did. And it's really nice. So I think that helped out a lot. And they did seem to make semi-sound financial decisions. Like insuring, well, we'll get to that, but they got this insurance that was called mortgage insurance, and so when my father died, the house was paid for, which I thought was very good. They could have added on to the house a little sooner, to my way of thinking, but, you know, not.
So when we moved into that house in Lincoln Estates,
Yeah.
there was a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen. There's the picture of it. I'm sure you can see it. So that was the pump house?
Yeah?
That was the cabin?
No.
What was that?
Wait, that's not the cabin. Is it detached from the house? That's not the cabin, that's the dining room. There were two entrances. This is the front entrance and this is the other porch entrance. There's the side, the back door was back there and then the cabin was over on that side.
Right.
The front porch was my room. I'm sorry, but it was, it was very small.
Well, the front porch was your room, and where did Tommy sleep?
Well, let's see.
There was the one bedroom.
There was the one bedroom. I think Tommy slept in the living room at that time because that's all there was. And where did I sleep? God only knows. And you slept, because I remember, you slept in a crib in Mom and Dad's room because you kept crying. And I went over to the crib and I grabbed your arm and I bit it to make you stop crying. But it only made you cry more. So that's how I know there was a crib in there. But there may have been another little, that was only an 9 by 12 room. And there was a double bed, that was my mom's before she got married. Her dresser, which was my mom's before she got married. And the other chest of drawers, that was my mom's before she got married. In that bedroom. And a crib. And then, at one time, all three of us kids were in that bedroom. Because we added on the
room on the end. That was
the room on the end.
Mom and Dad's room.
Right. Painted with the kind of paint that wasn't totally liquid. It was like a new revolutionary thing. It was more solid, and so it was almost like spreadable, so you didn't have drips. And when you rolled the roller, it didn't do all that little spray things. So actually we helped, or I did at least. I don't know how much you helped.
Probably not much.
I even helped roof that house. Huh? Yes! Anyhow. So what were we explaining? Oh, where did we sleep?
The house.
I remember one Christmas Eve sleeping out in the living room. And Tom, I think, also had remember those rollaway beds?
Mm-hmm. They would fold up, right? And a little strap hold it together.
Little metal,
There was
metal
a narrow
spring.
one. There was a
Narrow.
narrow one and a wider one.
Yep, there was a twin size and a 3/4 bed size. And of course where the mattress folded, any of you who know anything about these things, it's very lumpy and very uncomfortable. And I do remember us having all to sleep on one bed, all of us kids. And our brother Tom was big. He was not little much ever in his life. He was older than us and he was heavy. And so whatever bed arrangements, it all went to the middle where Tom was, and I had to hang on with one arm to the side of the bed to not, roll in there too. And
I can
don't know
remember
about-
hanging on. I can remember hanging on.
Yeah, which came in handy, because at least for me, when I lived aboard the sailboat and I slept up on the deck, I had one arm around the mast so that I wouldn't fall into the water. So that was a good thing.
Luckily, it was trained.
When did you live above on a sailboat?
When I lived in Annapolis, Maryland, it must have been 1976 or 77. Nixon was president. Don't go too hard on me, but I do know he was president because when we sailed the sailboat down to Key Biscayne, the Secret Service agents kept checking all of the boats and whatever in the area, and they always checked ours, and we had a lot of organic teas and grains and things like that, and they would always dump it out thinking it was illegal drugs. So we were like earmarked as possible, non-Americans, or revolutionaries. And all we were, poor sailors living on a World War II Liberty ship lifeboat, which Lori can tell you about because she came and saw it before we finished it. I forget what year it was, actually. Nixon, I guess, was president for a while, wasn't he?